Hello, and welcome to video number 4 of the Research for Scholarly Writing series. In today's video, we will explore additional secondary sources, including treatises, the 50 State Survey, and American law reports. My name is Jessica Almeida. I'm a public services librarian at UMass Law Library. Please feel free to contact me if you have any questions about research or anything you see in this video series. As you know, secondary sources are commentary or analysis of the law, which makes it really research gold. So far in this video series, we've looked at secondary sources like newspapers and law review articles, as well as books. But today we're going to dig deeper into secondary sources like treatises, the 50 State Survey, and American law reports. Remember that secondary sources are a great way to find your primary sources. So continue to dig through footnotes, read the primary sources, and update them to make sure they're what we call good law. Just like in prior videos, I'm going to use the topic comparison of end-of-life state statutes, and specifically my keywords physician or medical aid in dying to help me search. Starting in Lexis Plus, I'm going to scroll down to secondary sources and click on treatises. You can see the treatises are organized by jurisdiction and practice area. I'm going to click on healthcare law and type in my keywords and click the search button. We received 4 results, which is a very narrow list. If you had too many results to look through, you could use the categories on the left-hand side to limit your results. Let's take a look at number 2, which is a chapter on active euthanasia and a treatise on healthcare law. As we scroll down, we can see challenges to state authorizations of physician-assisted suicide, which is on point for my topic. It also says that Oregon was the first state with such a law. If we go to the footnote 3, we can get directly into the statute and read it for ourselves. We can also shepherdize the statute at this point to find cases that cite this statute. Now let's try the same thing, but in Westlaw. Now let's take a look at the treatises in Westlaw. You're going to scroll down to secondary sources. The secondary sources are organized slightly differently in Westlaw. You have type, state, topic, and then publication at the bottom. We're going to use the topic, health law. And once again, place our terms and connectors in the search bar. We received 272 results. Notice that the first result is a law review article, which we've seen before. So let's use the filters on the left-hand side to limit our search. I'm going to limit it to just texts and treatises, which will give us 57. Now, as you go through the list, you're going to notice this Health Policy Tracking Service issue briefs. These are expert analysis and guidance on hot topics. We're looking for something a little bit different. These can be great to give you an overview of your topic, but I'm going to go and search within my results. I'm going to put state, and in the same sentence as statute, because I really want to narrow down this list of 57. And we hit apply. And now we have 4. If we go into one of the treatises, this one is called Durable Powers of Attorney and Healthcare Directives. Just like in Lexis, there will be footnotes that you can go to. They also have the specific cases already linked within the text. So if you wanted to read one of the cases, you would just click on it and it would take you directly there. Once here, you could use the citing references to see which cases have cited your case. You can also check the flags to see if it's still good law. So now we're going to look at the 50 State Statutory Survey. To get there, you're going to scroll down and go to Statutes and Court Rules. On the right-hand side under Tools and Resources, click on the 50 State Statutory Survey. As you can see, it's by topic. So today we're going to choose healthcare. Then it gives you a list of all the statutory surveys that they have. Unfortunately, I've looked through this list and they don't have anything on my particular topic. But let's take a look at one of them so you can see what they look like. If you're doing a paper where you're comparing statutes, this is a great resource. First, we looked at state antitrust laws. It tells you when it was last updated. It gives you a summary of what you're going to find in the survey and sometimes what you're not going to find in the survey. Then it gives you the jurisdiction and the relevant acts, as well as links to the statutes themselves so that you can read them yourself. This one is very detailed. Some of the statutes are really just a list of the jurisdiction and a link to the relevant statute, and that's it. I do want to mention that Lexis also has this feature. If you go to Statutes and Legislation, on your right-hand side, 50 State Surveys, 50 State Surveys again. With Lexis, though, you can enter your search terms. So let's enter our search terms and see if there's anything. And there isn't. But it works the same way. If you go into, let's go into healthcare. I only show you both because the content is going to be different. These are things that are created. This content is created by Westlaw and Lexis, so they may choose to do statutory surveys on different issues. So once again, it gives you an overview, and then it gives you a chart, which you can download. But it's very similar to Westlaw. The last additional secondary source I want to talk about today is American Law Reports. Now I'm going to show you this in Westlaw, but it's available in Lexis as well, and it's the same content. Just go to Secondary Sources, American Law Reports. Now, as you can see, there are a number of topics. Unfortunately, healthcare law isn't one of them. So we're going to put our keywords in the search bar. And I'm going to choose number 1 just so we can take a look at what an American Law Report looks like. So here you have the title. An important thing to notice is when it was originally published. They are continuously updated. However, I would double check anything after 2014 on this topic. Do my own research. You have an introduction to the topic,
a table of contents, the article outline. It's really important to read the scope right away so you can see what the scope of the article is going to be. Sometimes it'll say, this article covers X, but it doesn't cover Y. And if you're doing a paper on Y, then this is not the article that you need. However, if you're doing one on X, this is research gold. There's also an index. So if you are looking at something specific, like assisted suicide, you know that you need to look at sections 4 to 6 and 8 to 10. And you can just click on the numbers and it will send you directly there. There are not ALRs for every topic, but when you find one, it really can be almost all the research you need. I'm going to go back up to the top to just show you one more feature. There's a table of cases, laws, and rules, but also research references. And if you click on that, that will give you other ALRs to look at. Entries in treatises and practice aids, as well as law review articles and other periodicals that are on this specific topic. Just a few reminders as we finish up today. Research really does take persistence, so don't give up. If you're struggling, if you need help, make sure that you reach out to myself or another law librarian. Secondary sources are a great way to learn the ins and outs of a topic. Make sure to look for those footnotes, though, to find your primary sources. And remember to always update those primary sources. The article could have been written 10 years ago, so those primary sources may have been updated since then. The laws may have changed. It's your job to make sure that they're good law. And remember to keep your information organized for easy footnote work. If you need any help at all, please reach out to me. You can email me at jessica.almeida@umassd.edu.